Hello everyone, Richard here at Calvin Wazoo, where we now know how many holes it takes to fill the Albert Hall. So this video is, new acquisitions, and it's quite a cornucopia of some kind of traditional music, but also some somewhat uncommon or rare oddities. And so let's get started with this one, because I'll have needle drops. Don't want the video to go on too long. And the first one we got for you is some techno house music. And it's from this recording here, which is, the title is, we got it here, DET 313, which is the area code for Detroit. EP. This is upstairs Asylum recordings, number 1, perhaps. I mean, that's what it says, so I don't know if this is their first release. But anyway, it's a 12-inch 45 RPM. It was released in 2020. And it's got 2 tracks. And definitely, we're talking like house, very techno. And I guess, I don't know exactly what the term is for it, but it's kind of like side 1 is called Muggy Detroit Heat, and that's Omar S. And it's like one of those tracks that you, maybe you lay over another song if you're a DJ mixing tracks or something like that. It might be the one that you use for the background track or something like that, whatever. I'm not sure what it's called. If you're a DJ, leave a comment in the down under if you know what I'm talking about. Side B is by Norm Talley and Moody Man, and it's called Just Hangin', which is the needle drop that I will play for you. It features Charlotte O.C., who is a somewhat obscure singer-songwriter from Blackburn, Lancashire, which is the town that had the 4,000 holes in Blackburn, Lancashire, the line from the Beatles, A Day in the Life. Anyway, give a listen. So that is what you're getting with the upstairs Asylum records. They're good records. I picked them up. I've really not had a dud. If you like techno, if you like deep house and Detroit house in particular. All right, so the next one I got here is a record store day record that was a late pickup. I wasn't on my original list, but especially after watching Robert Fithen talk about it, I decided, man, I needed to get this. And that's this Willie Dixon release, What Happened to My Blues. So this is a reissue of a record that was originally released in 1976. So yeah, this is the Record Store Day limited edition on this orange translucent vinyl, okay? Marketers. It says, what it says on here, that it's opaque orange. No, it's not opaque. Holding it up to the light. See that? You can see my hand through here. That's translucent, not opaque. When it comes to transparent, you not only does light go through it, but you can read through it. You can see through it. Marketers apparently really don't understand what these terms mean. They just kind of throw them on these labels, and it annoys me because professionally I'm an editor. So yeah, I get annoyed by that. Anyway, This is a great album. I'm really glad I went back. I picked up the last one at the store. So it's just, listen to this needle drop, which is the opening track, Mooncatten. This album has got great blues all the way through it, from boogie woogie blues to traditional 12-bar blues. It's Willie Dixon at his finest, so I'm glad that I went back and picked that up. By the way, there are records, black vinyl records. Well, they look like they're black vinyl and they look like they're opaque, but when you hold them up to a really strong light, such as this album here, which is not really part of the records that I bought, but that particular album is translucent. You just have to get it up against a really, really bright light, and then you'll see the light passing through, and it doesn't look like black vinyl anymore. It actually looks a little, kind of like a reddish brown. Anyway, next album. This is a little more obscure, and this is Ford Proco with Coil, and it is Expansio Naranja. And all right, so Ford Proco is a Mexican collaborative project, whatever, and these two songs, this is an EP single, 45 RPM, that's limited to 400 copies apparently, and it was released in 2015. So they were originally released, the two tracks, one for each side, in 2000 on a CD by Ford Proco, and it was called Verdugo de Lodo y Miel. So this is industrial-ish music, and you've got Coil providing some vocalizations along with the material, and the needle drop I'll play for you is the title song, Expansio Naranja. Ford Proco and Coil. Some people don't particularly care for this, but it's Coil, and I kind of like this, okay? Even though some people, the Ford Proco is a little too, I don't know, they don't connect with it. Anyway, this next one was interesting when I saw it in this bin. And that's this here, all right? It is Tartit, which is a collaboration between Onom Agemo and Ahmed Kaedy, if I'm pronouncing that correct. And this is an OG release. This is a 2022 German pressing on Agogo Records, or Agogo Records. I'm not sure how it should be pronounced. This is Krautrock meets Saharan Blues. And, a lot of information, about this collaboration is on the record sleeve. So you've got Onom Agemo, which is a Berlin-based groove outfit. That's what they're described. And then you've got Ahmed Kaedy, who is a Malian guitarist, singer, and songwriter. So he's bringing in the Saharan Blues with the Tuareg feel. We're talking like Amdu Mokhtar and others from that region of Niger and Mali in the southern Sahara region. And so they produced this album together. So you've got Ahmed Kaedy playing the traditional Saharan style blues, but then you've got this Krautrock band providing, some of its own texture to the song. And it's really, really quite cool. It comes off a little bit with the kind of the desert blues and a little funky psychedelia going on with it too. So the needle drop I have for you is the song Kidal. Nice little find. I'm really happy that I found this. Had no idea about either of these guys or either of these, projects or bands. And it's interesting because the album has this, it looks like it's an old album that's all scratched up and things are peeling off of it. But no, that's the way the album artwork was designed. So very cool stuff, and not necessarily all that well known. Now the next one, this is weird. All right, so this was a record that it was the cover that got me. I mean, what a wild cover. Got this bonsai tree in there, and then you've got this dog with something obscuring its face, and then this like graffiti like drawing up here, and just really, really bizarre artwork. And then we've got something similar on the inside, except it's actually, you've got this like railing on this deck, and you're what are you doing? You're looking inside someone's window, or is that a work of art, or I don't know. By the way, well, let me describe it first before I show you the download, because and after you listen to the needle drop, you may decide that this isn't for me, because it's Japanese. I don't know, it's like city pop, it's like jazzy, it's like really fast tempo, very cool, this very cool color variant with the vinyl Yeah, it's taken me a while to really appreciate what's going on here, because it's not like when I first listened to it, I'm going, oh man, no. It's just something when I was listening to it, I'm going, wow, this needs repeated listens. And it's Hakuchi Hasegawa. And this is an older album, I believe, from this producer. She's a experimental Japanese producer. And the hype sticker or the little sticker that the store put on it said that this is a wild combination of IDM, math rock, jazz fusion, and hyperpop. It says reminiscent in many ways of Fire Tools, minus the black metal influence. To me, I feel, I don't know anything about Fire Tools, but to me, I felt like there was a closer to connection to Pizzicato 5 in some respect, because there's definitely that Japanese city pop vibe cruising through it. But then there's all this like other wild stuff going on. The needle drop I'll play for you is the track titled Only You. Right now that you've listened to it, and if you think, okay, maybe I want to check this out some more, here you go. Pause, and there's the download information. All right, now, but yeah, this is, I'm giving it more and more listens, and I'm becoming more comfortable with it, but this is definitely, and it's actually becoming kind of fun, which is kind of weird. Anyway, now this next band is a Chicago band, and one of our episodes with the Gunkles, we were doing I think it was 2008. Was that the year that we were doing? Can't remember now. But this band I did a lot of research or whatever. I went and listened to a lot of records that were released that year that I'd never heard before. So that became, part of my list for that episode. And one of the bands was this Chicago band that is an instrumental progressive metal band. And they go by the name Russian Circles. So I've been looking for, I put it in my phone, as an album to see. And then when I was going through records at the store, a Russian Circles album, turned up. And that's this one here, which is Empros. So the original of this was released in 2011. This is a 2024 remaster on this really gorgeous magenta and black. I mean, I just think that's really cool. And then on the other side, okay, this is really cool. That's the thing about with, multicolored vinyl, when they're kind of blotching two different colors together, because no two LPs are going to look alike. Each one is unique, and I think I'm pretty lucky with this one because it's very, very cool. But anyway, this is mostly instrumental. It's also got an embossed on the cover here with the title, Russian Circles, Empros, which you can barely see, but it's embossed on the cover. Yeah, this is what I like about metal, the music. You know, I like a lot of metal and this progressive metal and even some black metal and other, but it's always the vocals that just turn me off. I hate what they call like Cookie Monster vocals, and I hate the really screeching, you know, it's just completely unintelligible. I don't like that. I like the music, I just hate the vocals, and that's why I never listen to a lot of metal. So this mostly instrumental metal was really interesting to me, and I've been listening to it, and I really like Russian Circles. The needle drop I'll play for you is from the song 309. Yeah, really, it is music I really, really like, and I wish I could get more of it without vocals. In a way, you know, it kind of has a little bit of a Steven Wilson Porcupine Tree kind of feel to it, but it's definitely more into the metal than even something like Porcupine Tree or Steven Wilson. But you see, you know, even with Tool, you know, I like Tool because I can deal with the vocals, okay? But man, some of these, can't deal with it. Now, the last one I got here is a really obscure one. Now, on the first Mothers of Invention album, there's a song, Who Are the Brain Police, which I recently posted the video on a friend's Facebook page because it's something that he had posted. And when I did that, I started thinking, you know, in my external drive, I do have a file of music by a band called The Brain Police, which may or may not have taken its name from the Zappa song, but, you know, from that era. And so I went and listened to it again online, and then I started going through Discogs, and here's the story about the Brain Police. So they're from San Diego, psychedelic psych rock band, okay? And this recording, their eponymous recording, was technically never released because they never got a record deal, but it's from 1968. They used to tour with Steppenwolf, but Steppenwolf definitely, you know, overrode them, you know, during the shows. But then they did get it pressed in a kind of a do-it-yourself kind of way. And if you can find a copy of that, because the sleeve, all the members of the band wrote, you know, signed it, that's like, I think when I looked it up, there was one available for like $4,000. It's like, whoa. And then there were some other subsequent pressings, independent, I believe, because I still don't think they really managed to get any kind of record deal, because this is the only recording they ever made. But even those, you know, you can find some cheap ones, but even those are going to cost you know, like $100 or something like that. It's very, very obscure. Well, then in 2012, a Spanish reissue was pressed on the Gerson label, I believe it's called, which is, I guess, I don't know, guess. And that's the one I picked up. Got it for less than $30. And so here's the record label on the black vinyl. And then it's got this insert with the information about the band. That's what comes with it, because it doesn't come with the cover, this particular pressing. No, what is really cool about this pressing is that it comes in this cloth bag. There they are, the Brain Police. You know, with the label on there. So, yeah, San Diego's only psychedelic cops, the Brain Police. So, yeah, very cool that I picked that up. And, you know, this is some decent 1960s psych pop. You know, it's not horrible. The recording's not all that great. It sounds decent, though. And the music, yeah, the music is solid, but definitely I could see perhaps why they didn't necessarily catch anyone's attention, you know, in terms of trying to get a record deal. But man, it's pretty good stuff. And I feel lucky that I was able to find this for sale. Other vendors in Europe are selling this too, but with the currency exchange, it's going to be above $30, and some of them are asking even a lot more. And then, of course, you have the shipping to get it back to the U.S. So, yeah, the fact that I was able to get this for less than $30, for about $25, actually, and it sounds, you know, really, really good. Needle drop I'll play from this is called Election for Mayor. So yeah, it's psych pop, garage rock, you know, not the greatest production perhaps, but it's still a good listen. I really enjoy it, and very cool. I mean, this to me is very, very cool. I will get a frame for framing the canvas bag. That is very cool. So there you have it. These are the records that I have to show for this particular episode. I hope you enjoyed that. Hey, do hit the thumbs up. It helps out a lot with distribution. If you haven't subscribed and you want to, that's wonderful. That's great. I enjoy getting the subscribers. But the thumbs up button really, really helps with content distribution in YouTube. So you should be doing that with all the videos that you watch and enjoy. It helps the creator out quite a bit. You can also find me on Instagram, where I go by the handle of NewsDude76. That's NEWZDUDE76. And then I have a Facebook page called Kelvin Wazoo, where I post these videos as well as other music-related content, articles, and you know, and other videos. So yeah, leave a comment in the down under. Really appreciate getting those. And always remember to pray for the people inside your head, for they won't be there when you're dead.